What's happening, everybody? MG here. MGCovers bringing you a brand new sports handicapping video. Title of this video, How Sportsbooks Make Money, and it's not what you think. Most people are wrong, incorrect about how sportsbooks make money. Super excited to get in this video. At the end of this video, hopefully this will be a light bulb for so many of you. This will help your handicap tremendously if you understand this concept. As always, if this is your first time watching my videos, greatly appreciate you subscribing to the channel. If you want to follow me on social media, MGCovers, covers spelled with a Z. Give out a ton of content on Instagram if you follow me there. Sometimes it's about line movement, maybe a play I see value in. I'll post that there. And yeah, MGCovers, covers spelled with a Z. Let's dive into this. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, and we've talked about this before the last several videos, sort of the theme of my videos has been thinking of sports betting like a business. So what I want you to do is just forget everything you know about sports books, line movement, public money, etc. And let's just break this down very simple. A sports book is what? A sports book is a business. What is the primary purpose and function of a business? To make a profit, because if the business doesn't make a profit, there is no business. So when I walk you through this, that's how I want you to think, okay? And let's go right into this. This is a line from yesterday's WNBA. So we're going to use a real live situation here. And this is Los Angeles, New York. So the date would be August the 3rd. And this is what we call a consensus. At this particular website, they do a consensus, which means they take line from some Vegas books, some offshore books, combine them. That's why they call it consensus. Now, if the line was Los Angeles +7, New York -7, it opened at, or the day of it was at 6.5, and then bumped a half point in favor of New York there to 7. Now, this is what we're going to look at here. When you see this, and this varies with different websites. You can get ticket count, and I talk about this in one of my coaching videos. And I'll go ahead and tell you guys now. You want to make sure you're using a good source for this, because there's tons of places that you can get this information. But anyway, so 70% of the tickets were on New York. Now, what that means is, out of all the wagers that were placed, meaning tickets, the amount of wagers, 70% of the wagers, not money. 70%, what we say the ticket count, 70% of the ticket count was placed on New York. Okay? Now, this is a big number. This is another real important number. 81% of the money was on New York. You can see right there, 81% of the money. So the way that I teach, if you watched any of my videos, this is a heavy public team. That means the public, 70% of the bets were placed on New York. So the general public is all over New York. So in layman's terms, and to simplify this, when we see a heavy public team, we do not play the heavy public team. Okay? Now we're going to talk about why. All right. So I'm going to break this down and going back to understanding how sports books make money. Now, let me talk about the myth. And I've probably said this in videos, and this is somewhat true, but it's at the core, it's really not. When you ask people, even people that, quote, think they understand sports betting, how does a sports books make money? They'll say they want to get even action on both sides, and they make the juice. So $50 on one side, $50 on the other side, hypothetically, regardless of who wins, they still get the juice that was charged. Say it was -110, right? Well, that's not actually really true. And I'm going to break it down for you in this video. So let's say this game took in, and I'm going to make this simple, took in $100,000, which means the total amount wagered, this total amount here on both New York and Los Angeles, was $100,000. Now, we already know, based on the consensus, 81% of it was on New York. So it's pretty easy math. $81,000 out of $100,000 was on New York. So that means we only had $19,000 on 19,000 on LA, right? So this is New York and this is LA. So here's This is it. So if New York wins this game, the sports books are going to lose $62,000. Right? Does everybody understand that? So if New York wins, 81% of the tickets, 81% of the money is on New York. They're going to have to pay out. You have 19,000 that would win. 19,000 of that goes to the LA winners, and I'm sorry, they get 19,000 from the LA losers, and have to pay out 81,000 for New York. So the books end up minus 62,000. So what did I tell you at the beginning of this video? Sportsbook is a business. So here's my question. The sports books know they have 81% of the money on New York. If they were concerned about losing this, wouldn't this line move minus 8, minus 9, minus 10, minus 12? Wouldn't it move so high so that they could get more money on this other side over here? But in reality, what happened? It only moved a half point, from 6.5 to 7. That's it. The reason that the line didn't move, the sports books felt comfortable, and somehow, whether they got sharp money or, and that's probably some of why this line didn't move, they felt good having a liability on Los Angeles, because what happened in this game, Los Angeles covered. So what did the sports books make? They made that money. So the sports books made $62,000. So when you hear, 100,000, remember we were talking about before, it's 50-50. Not really. And they just make the juice. They made a good chunk of change on this game. And so the point I want you to understand, if the books felt like, or they were concerned at all about having an 81% money liability, this line would have moved 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but it did not. And that's what you need to understand. The sports books are in business to make money. So you, as a professional, or if you aspire to be a professional, you don't ever want to play games like this. You don't ever want to be on the New York side. You want to have the same liability as the sports books. Okay? Meaning if the public is all over New York, if you were going to play it and this is all the information that you had, your play would be Los Angeles. Because the general public does what majority of the time? The general public loses the majority of the time, right? What do the sports books do majority of the time? They win. And for those of you that are old school, or if you've ever heard the term trap game, that's exactly what this is. This is a trap game. Because if it looks too good to be true, probably is. So this comes up a lot, and it's very easy to identify. And once you understand it, now the way that I handicap, my power rankings actually had New York. This is why when I teach handicapping, it's more than just value. It's more than just one angle. You have to look at the whole pie. You have to look at it from the macro. So my power rankings had New York. I think my line was like minus 14. But when I see this, what did I do? It was simply a no play. You might ask the question, why didn't you play Los Angeles? Well, then I would be going against my power rankings. So the way I handicap a game like this, if there's conflicting information, it's simply a pass. Now, further application of this, if you look, this was the same day. So we had won a soccer play, made 250 on it. It was a draw. We had this play. We had another play exactly like this where the public was all over it. I can't remember which one it was. But we avoided both of those, and if we would have played both of those, we would have lost. So instead of having a $250 day, we'd only had a $50 day. So very important to understand line movement, how a sports books makes money, because if you understand that, it will also help you make money and keep you from losing money. Hope that video helped. We'll throw this out there. If you want to join MGCovers.com, you can become a client, get access to all my coaching videos with all my lines for soccer, baseball, and WNBA. Will have football just around the corner in another month. You also get access to all my coaching videos. This is one I made today. I updated it for this year, how to handicap NFL preseason. There's 2 situational angles that you need to look at, and I have that listed in this post. Another video I made, how to handicap NBA, WNBA, give you the complete breakdown, and you also get access to my power rankings. If you want access to my plays, that's $99 per month, and you also get access to everything I just mentioned. If you join for the year, it is $4.99. You save about $600, and that covers everything on the site for a full year. Hope that helps. Again, think like a sportsbooks, and you want to have the same liability the sportsbooks does. Hope that helps. Like this video if it brought you some value. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.